All right, we're back. Sorry about the connection issues. Like the mayor was saying, that's a real isolated area. I mean, it's so isolated. The Wi-Fi. so, Glenn, I want to go back to finding names. People keep throwing in the comments, "Oh, you find the names, find the names." Walk me through that process. You dig in that trash that's dumped illegally. You find a power bill or some kind of a statement with a name and an address on it. Where do you go from there?
Right. So any of the apprehending officers can issue a litter citation. There's two types of enforcement mechanisms. One is a litter citation, one is a notice of violation. The litter citation is the easier of the two. So we find prima facie evidence containing personal identifiable information. We then take our photos, we build our case profile, and then if there's a physical address, we engage and go there to the physical address. And if oftentimes they move out of the physical address, we send it to the last known address on the mail, and then we let the courts handle that. If they don't appear in court during the time in which they need to resolve the citation, the court marshals come into place. They have a longer, farther reach than Guam EPA does.
Right.
So they have mechanisms in place. They put their litter citations of non-payment on their website, and they have also, I believe, they place their names on tax. If they pay taxes, then they can retrieve the citation fees from there.
And so, like I said earlier, you're really hard charging. Kind of out here doing a job that 7 other agencies could be helping you with. What's it going to take to get those 8 other agencies that have the same authority to issue the same citations that you do to kind of sit down at a table together and tackle this problem once and for all?
Well, one of the things that we're working on is trying to get all these apprehending officers, the agencies that are identified in the litter control, and get them, again on a round table and find out what is preventing them from issuing, and what are the maybe resource-wise what we can do to help. So we've actually have some creative ideas that I would like to share, but I'm not allowed to share at this time. And
Just how
hopefully,
creative are we talking about here?
it's the funding. It's
Right.
it's basically it's going to result in the funding,
Right.
and where that funding is going to.
I mentioned the school safety because I kind of see this as, the government responding to a specific issue, and illegal dumping. Like I said in my open, every election, everybody wants to talk about how much they care about illegal dumping. As soon as the election's over, right back where we started from. If we can put together a school safety task force, at no additional cost, fiscally, I mean, I don't think any of these members of this task force are sending, the governor a bill for their time. What's stopping us from doing the same thing to tackle, and I know that you're not a decision maker, but your boots are on the ground, which I think you have a more of a vested interest on this issue. So what's stopping us from putting these heads together and, everyone just kind of chipping in for free? Happy labor.
And for the most part, Gov Guam does a really good job in volunteerism. We do cleanups, and one of the remarks that we have is, okay, we clean up a site, and then what's next? What are we going to do to prevent it moving forward? And some of the ideas again is putting jersey barriers up, putting blockades in place, and but really it starts at home. We need to be proud of our island, and we need to take care of our resources. That illegal dump site that we just came from is over the northern aquifer, and the northern aquifer starts from the central Guam to the north tip of the island. That is basically our main source of drinking water. So we need to protect that resource, but more importantly, protect the human health and the environment for the people who live in that area. We have people living off that road that it lives pretty, substandard, and then they have to deal with having to drive through an illegal dump site.
Right.
It's just a slap in the face.
While we're on the subject of slaps in the face, and I don't know if Nick wants to come in here, I think we need to send a strong message to these polluters, not just illegal dumpers. We did a story last year on the fines, and, guys like you out here, busting asses, writing tickets. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the enforcement side, we're seeing a huge reduction in the fines. Do you think that maybe we need to revisit some of the laws and make the penalties stiffer and allow less leeway for administrators to kind of gravitate away from what the suggested norm is?
I think there's a benefit for both. The fines I feel, are fair. We just need to do our part in enforcement, and it's not that we're trying to, you never penalize the individual. You want to penalize the activity and change behavior. So if we can change behavior, that'll be a plus.
Well, Glenn, again, I know how hard you work. I spent a lot of time over at EPA in the last administration. So I just want to appreciate and show appreciation for the work that you guys do, and really just call out those other 7 agencies. Get out on an aircon, come out here. Give Glenn a hand. It's not rocket science. I mean, if there's 7 other government agencies that have the same authority that Glenn does, I don't see any of you guys out here. Do you?
They're around. They're around.
They're around, but they're not here. And, hey, that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching the first episode of Chris Barnett Group Chat. Remember, we got a lot of great new Facebook Live shows rolling out on the KUAM Communications Network. My name is Chris Barnett, and thanks for coming out and getting trashy with me. And thanks for watching. Hasta adios.